Welcome to the Boricua Culture Mix. I'm one of your hosts, Wilma LeBron Moore.
And I'm Diane Rivera.
And this is where la isla meets the diaspora.
Échate pa' acá,
te hice café.
Yeah. Hola, hola.
Hola, hola.
Suena mejor. Welcome, people.
Welcome, welcome.
You are now part of our check.
You are, porque es que lo necesitamos. Tú sabes,
We have to, because yet again, we have to record virtually, so we need to make sure that audio is on it.
Because aquí somos pod production, buscamos los temas, investigamos todo, somos hosts, somos todo.
We're everything. We have to fact check. We have to deep dive. And with this episode, we have to take accountability.
Es que de todo, siempre es bueno tomar accountability.
Of course, of course. So we have a show for you. We have some things to talk about. You heard us in our pre-pod mode of making sure that all the things work because we have made enough mistakes on the pod.
Mira, el que me diga que esto es fácil, que me enseñe.
It's so hard. And you know what? We have jobs, right? We have regular jobs.
Yes.
That have skills, and every time I try to do something on a creative space, I'm like, am I smart? Did I really earn a degree? Why can't I get this?
Mira, don't say that.
But it does. It makes me feel like, so why can't I make an image align properly on Canva? Like, why is it off to the side? Like, what is it? Like, what am I missing? Like, it makes me feel like I missed a day of school and they taught everybody all these like perfect skills that I didn't get.
You didn't get the homework. Nobody does homework.
Nobody gave me the notes.
No. But I completely get it. Yo me siento como cuando my dad asked me like why his phone is on silent. Like, así me siento, okay? Sometimes.
What?
Like,
oh my God.
Eso no se escucha, nena. ¿Qué es lo que está pasando con mi teléfono? I was like,
oh my God. Our parents really think
your
we're IT techs. And I'm like, they really think we work for like the companies. And I just be looking at them like, sir, if Johnny had 5 apples, why would you think I know how to do this stuff?
Listen. When it gets to that, para nuestros padres, nosotros somos accountants, somos
es verdad.
Assistants, somos
you know what?
technology.
We're gonna have to put an episode of the parentification of children of our parents of the diaspora and or even on the east, like, cause like that has to be a conversation we need to have and unpack, and I'm gonna need like therapy like moments because the amount of times that I got yelled at for like not having life skills at 9 years old is beyond me.
Mira, nena, ven aquí. ¿Qué es lo que dice? Dile a ella que yo necesito.
Girl, the dile a ella triggers something in me.
Dile a ella que yo necesito esta pieza. Lo chocan solver. I was like, what, Dad? What again? Like, I don't know what chocan solver is.
Oh my God, it reminds me of this little kid on TikTok, this little Puerto Rican baby.
Yes.
Him and his dad, like, they're like in the shop, and he just like says the auto parts in like Spanish, pero también in like Puerto Rican Spanish. It's so cute.
Yep. So I'm gonna pass that to my dad, so he can know how to pronounce the different, things that he needs.
But they're not gonna take accountability themselves. They're gonna be like, bueno, eso es lo que era, y ya.
Absolutely. Nunca la accountability eso no va a estar.
But how are you feeling, Josie? We know we got to do our check-in before we do a jump into the show.
We're feeling good. So, like we talked on the last part about, mover el cuerpo, mejorar la salud. So, estamos en esa. Estamos en
Qué bueno. Ay, me alegro. I love that. Yeah, I did a little workout this morning. It's Sunday that we're recording. We're back to our normal recording day. And like Sunday mornings are like sacred for me. So like I spent time, praying and setting intentions and a lot of reflection. And so, I share that on my redes sociales and like just a moment to like, it's not just moving your body, but it's also connecting that heart and mind. So la gente, busca un momento para ti, en serio. Like you really need to align and connect with yourself because we're all doing so much day to day.
A lot.
It's very rare that you take a moment to be like, no, at that moment es mío.
Exacto, exacto.
You have to claim it like that. Like, whether you have kids, whether you have a demanding job, you have to, even if it's like 5 minutes, no, these 5 minutes are mine. No one can take them away from me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Y te ayuda tanto, right? Y ahora que yo estoy tratando de incorporar un poquito más de eso,
Mm-hmm.
de coger un poquito más el tiempo y decir, ok, like, let's prepare for the week. Let's
Yeah.
decompress todo lo que pasó esta semana. Like, ok, mira, vamos a pasar la página, ¿verdad? Todavía se queda, because it's our book. It's a book
Yeah.
of life, ¿verdad? Vamos a pasar esa página y comenzamos una nueva página. Pero para prepararnos hay que mirar y reflexionar lo que pasó. And then we get, más ready para la próxima semana. So, en esa está.
For sure.
So, en esa
For
está.
sure.
¿Cómo
For
tú
sure.
estás, Wilma? ¿Qué está pasando en your end of the week?
Girl,
Dice. Así que
my
sí.
end of the week / beginning of the week, because like for some people, like Sunday either starts their week or ends their week.
Yeah.
So was very much looking forward to this pod's recording. To Josie and I, we had a moment of like we took some time and we did like a pod retreat, which was really fun.
Yes.
And we just set up some time to just think about how we're going to give this pod more of our attention, cultivate, make sure that we're bringing in a lot of the best content that we possibly can, and like kind of like shaping exactly the pod's identity more and more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think los dos, we kind of like just deep dived in and was like, we're gonna figure out the rest. But like, we're now on episode 19, and oh yeah, yeah. And so like as we progress, I'm so glad that Josie is my partner, because we're so much in line
Mhm.
that we had like called each other and we was like, oh yeah, we need a moment. I was like, yes, I was thinking that. So we
Yeah.
took Thursday.
Salte de mi cabeza. Salte de mi
Exactly.
cabeza.
We took Thursday as a moment to like just sit down, reflect over brunch, of course, because
Mm.
come on now. Who works on empty stomachs?
Por favor. Come on, let's do it.
And we did a lot of great planning, and we have some things set up, and so I'm very excited overall for like where the pod is going to go. And then overall for this weekend, just a lot, like I said, a lot of reflection. I've had this was more a quieter weekend for me. I wasn't dipping and running like I normally am. So like I was able to kind of like sit with myself and reflect on some things, and I was just like, yeah, I have some things to say.
Nice, nice. And you know what? A veces es bueno tomarse el tiempo to reflect, right? Y
Mm-hmm.
pensar lo que hemos hecho, cómo lo hemos hecho y qué podemos hacer, right? Siempre
Right, right.
nos quedamos con esa de que, ok, esto pasa, esto pasó y ahora qué hago, right?
Yeah.
O, ok, vamos para encima, como decimos aquí. Ah, so, por eso, tú sabes, hay que moverse, hay que analizarlo y darle para adelante, ¿entiendes?
For sure, for sure.
Pero bueno, tú dijiste que este episodio tenía mucha accountability, yo creo que tenía un poquito de todo, ¿verdad?
A little bit,
Right.
yeah. So we are gonna go on a little journey, right? So of course we're gonna have to go into Bad Bunny
We
because
do.
he opened up his residency, and so we want to talk about that. We talked a little bit about Love Island on the show, and so we want to get into that. And then there's a message that we need to get into. So that's kind of the roadmap for today's show.
Sí, 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 sí. Porque mira, vamos a empezar con Bad Bunny.
Yes.
El FOMO que yo tenía. Okay, my phone was bad.
Yeah,
So,
but the crazy thing is like we're gonna be there.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, yo me quería montar en un avión. Y
Oh, you were
nada,
like
pues,
that ready.
yeah, I was that ready. I told Joe, I was like, babe, I'm out. I'm out. He's like, where are you going? I was like, I'm out. I'm out.
I'm out.
We are.
I'm outside, como dice Cardi B. No, man, listen, I was super excited. And I think Josie and I were on two different things. Josie was like, I don't want to see anything. I'm like, I want to see it all.
Mhm.
So let's get into that. What did you see
I
or what
saw
you didn't see?
I saw it all. I saw it
Okay, so
all.
you did see.
I did.
So first of all, from the moment of seeing people arrive to the airport and the way they were received,
Mm-hmm.
me dio tanto orgullo to be like, wow, how warm and welcoming and amazing to experience this culture, right?
Yep.
And then um LeBron James was there, like, Ariana, what are you doing here, girl? But that was really, really dope. Le mandó un mensaje via Twitter en español, which I love.
Yep.
Clacking, okay.
Yep.
He's like, I can't wait to get there. I'm at the airport right now, and there was a little controversy. People felt some type of way. Porque supuesta y alegadamente, the first few shows were just for residents. It was like, what is this personality doing here? And I'm like, mire, he could have been invited directly from Bad Bunny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to take a moment and just be like, relax. Like, unless there was like a full on section that was like, and even if there was, these are his invites. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he is a global artist. He has relationships, and él se estaba tomando like. You know what it felt like? You know when you get your like friend from a different culture and you invite them to your like family event and they have the time of their lives?
Hmm. Yep. 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 Yep.
That's what it looked like when when
Yeah.
they were like they were like performing Titi me preguntó.
Yeah.
And I was like, growing up in Camden and the projects, like I remember like my friends who are not Puerto Rican or Latino, and they would come to our family events and they would have a good ass time. And I
Mhm.
was just like, I love that. And like, even in like, not in a planned way or an intentional way, it still comes back to this like, you can remember that happening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
eso fue un lindo momento.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some things that I saw, but what other things that you saw from opening night por las redes sociales?
So, the opening night con lo de LeBron James. Yo
Mm-hmm.
sé que había mucha gente like, oh, sí, esto era solamente para residentes de Puerto Rico, pero yo creo que todos los ojos iban a estar en esta residencia. Y la manera que
Mm-hmm.
podía conectar, porque él está invitando a la gente de afuera a venir a pasar, a conocer a
Right,
Puerto
right.
Rico. So, ¿qué mejor manera que usar a una persona extranjera, ¿verdad?
Mm.
Traerla al primer concierto y decirle, aquí es el real, aquí es el calentón real, es en Puerto Rico. Y él lo hace,
Right.
¿verdad? Y le dio la experiencia completa porque pone a LeBron James en la casita, ¿right? Y
Yes.
le dice, esto es un party, así es que esto es como le dio esa experiencia de cuando, como tú estabas diciendo, de una fiesta, de cuando te invitan a compartir en familia en Puerto Rico, se monta el party y así es, ¿verdad? Puede ser en la casa, puede ser afuera,
Yeah.
pasando bien con toda tu gente, con música buena. También lo llevó tú sabes, cuando se trepa al techo de la casa, que eso es algo
Ah, sí,
normal.
sí.
So, bien normal. Y sentó a LeBron James en el aire acondicionado. You know what I mean? Eso es bien cultural. Que personas en Puerto Rico hacemos eso, ¿verdad? ¿Cuántas veces yo no me trepé en el techo de mi casa? Simplemente a tomar un tiempo para mí o escuchar música. Eso era algo que yo hice varias veces. So, eso me hizo, te da como esa nostalgia, again, para las personas que estamos fuera. Y yo creo que por eso fue mi FOMO tan grande. Porque yo decía,
Mm.
tantas cosas dentro de, primero la escenografía, like that whole, like how they create almost el yunque, right? Like it gave me that vibe, like, wow, aquí está el rainforest. Y aquí está en Puerto
Mm.
Rico. Las gallinas, esto es algo
Girl, live
cultural.
chickens is
Love it,
crazy.
you know, y,
I'm like, who's feeding those chickens in between the shows?
wow, tú sabes qué, lo primero que yo hice, yo, aquí van a empezar. Que la
Uh-oh,
mucho
the
ruido
animal
para las gallinas,
activists.
yes, yes. Pero tú sabes, fue, primero tengo que decirle, the production of this, like la
Mm.
escenografía, espectacular, ¿ok? Un
Yes.
show nivel residencia de Las Vegas. Because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
literally comparing it to, side note, I was a little bit FOMO because, tú sabes, Backstreet Boy fan over here. Um, Ellos sacaron su residency en Las Vegas, la última, pero la están
Okay,
haciendo
okay.
el Millennium Album. Millennium
Oh,
Album
yeah.
for the Bastard Boy fans out there, tú sabes que eso era como que, like, oh my God, eso era lo más grande.
Right, right.
Comparando en la primera noche de Backstreet Boys en Las Vegas y comparando lo que hizo Benito en Puerto Rico, no tiene, sabe, nada que envidiarle a lo que hicieron los Backstreet Boys en Las Vegas. Like, así de grande el nivel de producción que Bad Bunny está haciendo en Puerto Rico. Le está trayendo a Puerto Rico también la experiencia de un concierto a ese nivel, ¿verdad? De una
Yeah.
So ahí es donde yo dije, wow, like, that's why my FOMO was there, because I want to be there. I want to be there every
No, y
single
tú sabes
week.
que this has also brought so many like other artists. So we talked about
Yes.
Ivy Queen being in Philadelphia. I want to recite something she said on her headers about the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, qué maldito orgullo ser puertorriqueña, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
She goes, Puerto Rico es el epicentro del flow.
Mm-hmm.
No hay GPS que te lleva a lo que somos, porque Puerto Rico no se encuentra, Puerto Rico se siente.
Mm-hmm.
Ser boricua es un superpoder, porque nosotros, porque no somos 100 por 35, somos infinito en ritmo, en alma y en corazón. Donde tú ves isla, nosotros vemos en universo. Pa'lante, San Benito. That's so fucking dope.
Yes.
For one of the pioneers of this genre to be like, aplauso. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because we've talked about this too, like especially like many of the pioneers. I'm pretty sure they didn't even think about where this could go at the time. They were tirando and making these things in like las fiestas patronales and like putting together in the mixtapes, like, and as this genre has evolved, it has turned out to what it could be and what
Yeah.
it's still what it could be in its infancy, because I liken it a lot to like the hip hop
Mm-hmm.
genre,
Mm-hmm.
because hip hop's only 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
And like underground started in like maybe early 90s, around that time, to where it turned into reggaeton. And I just love this, like this space of like, yes, like pa'lante. And something that me and Josie found out, the show started on el Día de San Benito. I was like, yo, if he did it to that level of intention,
Listen,
I'm with it. I'm with it.
listen, me too.
But no. Another thing that I saw in La Red, somebody on TikTok was like live streaming, which God bless them and their Wi-Fi.
Yes, yes.
And I caught the part where he's on the house y estaba diciendo cada nombre del género.
Yes, yes.
Eso me dio calofrío. I was like, wow. And he's just like, going in, and he's like, all of them, right? Anuel, from the new era to the old era, and it's just like this show is being done by him, but he's like, I'm invoking all of y'all, like y'all are all here with me.
Exactamente, exacto. Mira, nombró cantantes ahí que desde el principio, productores,
Mm-hmm.
cantantes, like todo. Y eso fue una de las cosas que más me encantó, se me pararon los pelos, porque
Mm-hmm.
el reggaetón, aunque no todo el mundo es fanático de reggaetón, no todo el mundo es fanático de Bad Bunny,
Yeah.
ni qué grande se hizo este movimiento, or this genre, right? But
Right.
este movimiento tiene resistencia, right? Like from so
Yeah.
many years. Like I remember that there was politics or politicians in Puerto Rico trying to stop this movement,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mia, yo me recuerdo cuando this wasn't even played on the radio.
Yes, because of that. You know,
Right? It was too vulgar. It was this like, and granted, the
it
lyrics
was.
were very strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was too street. It was
Yep.
too on it wasn't marketable, right? It was, you literally got the music through underground, when
Mhm.
like you would buy the CDs, whoever was selling them. People were, I remember watching the reggaeton este documental on Peacock, and los DJ decían, I would sell this out my car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we would literally, Friday night, we would finish a recording session. Saturday morning for the weekend, I was selling this out my car.
No, literally, literally.
And so like from the inception of the genre to where it is now,
Mm-hmm.
the stage, bro, the level of intention of the stage, like we talked about the gallinas, but like everything. And so I have, simply adding on with you, I do have my FOMO, but I'm also like, I cannot wait for our time.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a great time when we go.
Yes.
And also seeing the folks dress up. Girl, I saw somebody in a empanadilla costume and the icy, and I was like, yo, I don't know how more Puerto Rican can you be.
Yes, yes.
Like that was so niche,
Yes, like
so like
literally that. Like I saw that, I was like, wow, that brought me back when high school. Like that was, I
yes,
was like, I
yes.
miss.
And you know what's crazy too? Aquí en la diaspora, like I can remember like even now when my niece gets let out from like high school and like we'll take her to the store, she buys her little pastelillo
Te
de
dije
pizza.
pastilla. Bad Bunny said it.
Exactly. Hello. Or and she'll get her like soda. And it's like even though it's not like the identical icy and you know empanadilla or whatever, it's still the fact that it still trickles over here in the States,
Yeah.
that that's the after school snack.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
I saw a lot of like Hibara Couture. I was loving.
Love it.
Oh my gosh, they were looking so fire. I love the looks that like just people who did their garments themselves. Oh my gosh. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It also is like I gotta get on my Zoom
Yep.
porque yo no sé lo que me voy a poner. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I definitely a lot of FOMO. But what we also wanted to talk about is the economy with
Hmm.
Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Because Josie, you were telling me that not only is this show's doing that, but tú me dije que algo de Fórmula 1 que venía a Puerto Rico.
Yes. Sí. So, las diferentes brands están llegando a la isla, ¿verdad?
Mm-hmm.
Estamos viendo brands tan grandes como de maquillaje, de
Yeah.
cerveza, para no mencionar ninguna. Pero también, tú sabes, esas referencias que Bad Bunny hacía en his songs, like Toñita, right? We saw Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, and she went to the first show, and you know she got a deal with one of the brands from Puerto Rico, cerveza, and she was doing her, you know, her social club in Puerto Rico, so people can experience that. So también hemos escuchado, ¿verdad? Que la Fórmula One is going to be doing an appearance as well in Puerto Rico.
That's crazy.
And it's just insane, right? Because estas referencias que él hace te enseñan how these brands are taking lo que está pasando y siendo parte de la historia, right?
Yeah.
Y Formula One has been one of those deportes en donde ha sido siempre bien, well, from my perception, ha sido más bien upscale in a way, right?
Mm.
Everybody, it's like invited to this like type of race cars o las carreras de estos carros porque era como que más fancy en el sentido de que tú vas ahí pues tú ves la gente más importante y en los últimos años hemos visto like how the Formula One has integrated more the Latino community, right?
Right, right.
Like we have seen a lot of artists, a lot of actors, a lot of, like there always like been one or two there, right? Even like personas
Mm.
que corren dentro de los carros también. Hay personas latinas que like they participate. Pero hemos visto cómo en los últimos años la comunidad latina ha sido bien importante para la Fórmula One. Y Benito, right? Lo hemos visto en algunos de estos eventos de Fórmula One. So it's exciting to see what they're doing and bringing that to the island so people can experience a little bit more of that and incorporate y haciéndolo y dejándonos saber qué importantes somos. Porque
I
para que una
agree.
brand tome esta iniciativa y se monte en esta experiencia, te está diciendo que, like, somos importantes. Somos
Yeah, yeah.
so very, very
So
cool to see that.
very cool.
También viendo, volviendo otra vez a los outfits, la cantidad de talento puertorriqueño, diseñadores
Mm-hmm.
puertorriqueños are putting a lot of collections for this residency que yo no
Yeah.
sé cuál because I want them all. I want them all.
Muchacha, I literally had this conversation with Taj. He was like, "Oh, ¿cuánto dinero vamos a traer para Puerto Rico?" I looked at him. I was like, "Everything. We're bringing everything because, sir, what budget at this point?" He looked at me. He was like, "You better calm down." And I'm like, "No, sir. Like, yo quiero comprar tanto merch." And so one thing that I did see, which was really really cute, they're selling disposable cameras donde
Yes.
tiran más fotos.
Mhm.
Qué nostalgia, Josie. I don't know about you, but like I grew up on like the Kodak cameras that you
Yes.
would buy
Yes.
at the show, cada cumpleaños, and then you would like go to the pharmacy and like, print them out and like, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh, I need that. I need that in my life. I need a few hats. I just need so much.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna come back bankrupt. That's not the point. The point is that like there's so much revenue that's gonna be, and I'm so happy. I'm happy. Like Wendy's tiene un burger tripeta. Now Church's Chicken tiene los body cups.
Mhm.
¿Quién más? Oh, Taco Bell is gonna stay late
Yes.
after the concerts so that you can go and get a little monchi for 59 cents of a taco.
An after party and
And after part, the after hours, right? So it's like all these things, and of course, shopping local, right? Like
Mhm.
going to like favorites. Like I can't wait to go to Bibbles. When soon as I touch down, girl, I need me some chicken from there. Like there's just so much, and I'm just so excited, and also like un orgullo to be like, welcome. Please don't show your ass. Enjoy the island. And enjoy this amazing show, and I can't wait to see the story
Yeah.
that he cultivates on stage, because that's also what I tried to get out of. I didn't want to see like full parts of the show. I just saw like those little bit of opening nights, because I do want to experience some things to myself for the first time, which I'm gonna be so, yo voy a salir tan ronca de ese show, yo.
But we're ready. We're ready for that. Y también, tú sabes, a todo el mundo que está buscando su outfit, shop local too, right? There's a lot
Yeah.
of diseñadores. Está la Nolasco, está Valija. Valija tiró una colección completa que se fue sold out.
Wow.
So we're excited to see that. Hay diferentes boutiques en Puerto Rico que
Mm-hmm.
tienen una
Mm-hmm.
ropa espectacular. So, girls, if you're looking for that outfit, mira, hit us on the DMs because te vamos a enviar algunos de estos diseñadores puertorriqueños so that way you guys can see the different options that there are because I
Yeah, yeah.
creo que, ver cómo está impactando la economía de Puerto Rico everywhere, right? Um, in the island, because esto es desde San Juan
Mm-hmm.
hasta, como mencionamos en el podcast anterior, Ciales with the tours.
Oh
eh,
yeah.
uh,
Café con ron tour, right?
yes, so there is a lot going on in the island, right? Um, pero también tenemos que ser realistas de que la mayoría de las personas que are going to go to the island are from, fuera de Puerto Rico. Y lo que tenemos que entender más bien, ¿verdad? Con todo esto, sí, es usar esta oportunidad para que la economía en Puerto Rico se resalte,
Exacto.
que conozcan lo que es Puerto Rico real, ¿verdad? Lo que
Yeah.
es Puerto Rico, no lo bonito, oh my God, I had an amazing time. Yes, that too, but also to put in perspective, like, what this island has gone through, que sigue
Right.
pasando, ¿verdad? Esta es la mejor manera para educar al mundo, usar esto como experiencia, because this has showing us only with two shows that have happened, que, listen, we can be such an amazing place for tourism in Puerto Rico, ¿verdad?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is showing only with two. So I can only
Keyword tourism. Don't try to buy a house here.
exacto. Mira, y o sea, es respeto, ¿verdad? Yo creo que si podemos empezar a educar a la gente, es usar esta plataforma que está pasando con lo de Bad Bunny para educar, ¿verdad? Decir, mira,
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? Like, I get that you come to this country and will be like, wow, this is paradise, right? Like, I can get how you, es la isla de encanto. It's going to enchant you.
yep,
And so I wanted to segue a little bit, Josie. And if you must feel like you want to do something for the island, you don't have to move here. You can go back home and you can adopt a dog. The Satol Project is an island-wide rescue of stray satos from from the island. I think we talked about this a little bit, Josie, about like there's a lot of like stray dogs in the island, especially in like the mountain area. So there's like a few agencies that you can actually, and they're also like, I've been seeing this a lot on my socials of like, hey, while you're here, if you have room in your family, please take a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's Puerto Rico Ghost Dog Rescue, there's Angels for Animals, PR, there's Second Chance Animal Rescue in Villalba. There's Amigos de los Animales, or ALDA, and Proud Rescuers of Puerto Rico. So all of these are highlighting for this moment, if I'm not mistaken, they were waiving fees if you were willing to adopt a dog.
I remember that. Hopefully that's still happening, right? So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
people can help in some capacity or way, ¿verdad? Porque hay muchas maneras de...
The only thing is you're gonna have to learn Spanish because I'm pretty sure that dog's not gonna know what you're talking about. Pero yes, dogs are bilingual. Okay, listen. You can't say nothing about my family dog Mambo. He don't know anything in
Oh,
English.
mambo.
Mommy and Papi been talking to Mambo in Spanish all his life.
Yeah.
All he knows is Mambo ven, Mambo salte, like ven a comer, and you should see he'll get up.
Oh.
And he like wags his little tail, his little old man self. I'm telling you, dogs are better. Dogs know what race they are because of their owners.
Yeah,
Like
they are.
you can't convince me otherwise.
That,
Chico know he's Puerto Rican. Chico is a Puerto Rican dog.
yes, he sure is. Literally. De todo lado, de todo lado. No, pero, ¿sabes? Volviendo un poquito más a lo de Bad Bunny para cerrar eso. Una
Mhm.
de las cosas que más... Yo creo que por eso es que siento este FOMO, que no se me va todavía, no sé cuándo se me va a ir. Pero,
Wow. When we get there, girl, that's when you're gonna know that it's gone.
pero, ¿sabes? Lo más que me llamó es ver cómo nuestra cultura está resaltando tanto a nivel mundial.
Mm,
Ver cómo cuando el pueblo se une, lo que puede
yeah,
lograr. Porque sí, Papá
yeah,
hizo su parte aquí en el término de llevar esta residencia a Puerto Rico, pero ver al pueblo cómo ha tomado esta oportunidad, tú sabes, todo el mundo está haciendo su parte y le está
yeah,
mostrando al mundo de que nosotros no tenemos que depender de nadie y
yeah, yeah,
también que no tenemos que estar aquí como que, like, tratando de vendernos al mejor, like, better, ¿verdad? Better que se dice.
yeah.
Or like,
Mejor.
doctor, ¿verdad?
Mhm.
So, tú sabes, el hecho de que están usando esta plataforma para enseñar la lucha diaria que vive Puerto Rico, eso es lo que yo creo que me tiene a mí con el corazón inflado, que me quiero
Yeah.
montar en ese avión y cuando yo llegue a Puerto Rico decirle, empezar a aplaudir, like, tú sabes, gracias,
Yo, I cannot wait till
todo.
we touch down so I can like stand up and be like, llegamos.
So,
Sanamente, gloria a Dios.
yes, yes. It's so funny because the other day I was reading a post of somebody's like, "Wow, I just got to the island," and people were like clapping, and somebody from Puerto Rico, can you guys tell me why this is a thing? And somebody went and explained, and then there was this lady that said, a los pilotos no les gusta que estén aplaudiendo. Y yo digo, señora, este,
No importa a mí lo que le importa el piloto.
señora, like, ¿qué está hablando? Cállese, por favor.
Like this is a tradition ever since like I was 6 years old that I've got on the plane. Like, please, this plane could have did a lot of things
Exactly.
and not land. We're gonna celebrate the thank God the miracle of flight was a real thing.
Pero eso es lo más grande, ¿verdad? Es la gratitud. Because that's why.
Yeah,
That's why we're doing it. Like, thank you. Thank you for, flying this plane, right? And thank you for getting us there safely. And that's
yeah,
our way of
yeah.
appreciating and giving that gratitude to the pilots and all, like, gente que está...
And I think it's because people take things for granted. They just
Absolutely.
come in, they go into this space, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is what it's supposed to do." And it's like, no, like cualquier cosa puede suceder. So
Exacto.
that vamos a dar la gracia que llegamos aquí sanamente.
Exactamente. Exacto.
But yeah, I cannot wait for me, you, and the El Corillo to
Yes.
clap and be there, feel the Caribbean skin on heat on my skin, and just enjoy our moment. We're gonna have a fun packed
Yes.
few days out there. Corillo, we don't know what to do. So, stay stay attached to our redes sociales. You know, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok at Boricua Culture Mix Pod. We're gonna be flicking it up on the gram and on TikTok. So please stay close. Look at the things that we see, like, share, repost. Like we're gonna have a good time with the content when we're out there.
Ay, sí, sí, sí. Y Wilma, de
Diga.
una isla del encanto, nos vamos
Ooh.
a una isla de amor. Because
Ooh.
today we're gonna talk a little bit of like everybody's talking about this on social media. Y más bien on
Right,
TikTok,
right.
that has been a crazy thing. And we talked about it a little bit
Mm-hmm.
on the last pod. It is this boom of Love Island USA,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
this is your first time watching Love Island, Wilma?
Yes. Yes, this is my first season. I got swept up because it was like on my TikTok. I was like, ¿quién son esta gente? And
Yeah.
I think um the first audio that I was hearing over and over is like, I'm a mommy. And he's like, Mamacita? I was like, what the fuck is this? Then y'all had blew up my chat one Saturday and was just like, oh, y'all should watch it. Que si esto y otro. So, like, I actually started watching it the weekend that I think Jeremiah got voted off, but I didn't know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I'm caught up, and you had told me to wait to the episode of Casa Amor.
Yes.
And so I saw, and I felt so like, what the fuck? So apparently, el muchacho JD dijo que es de Puerto Rico, and he horribly was like, and also like unnecessarily was like puñeta, and I was like, that didn't need to go there, but
I
okay.
know.
And come to find out, he's not really Puerto Rican. He just
Right,
lives there. He's
right,
Haitiano.
right. Yep, yep, yep.
So it was just kind of like you could have just said you were Haitiano, like that would have been fine. Like
Yeah,
that's there's beautiful culture and just Haiti's gorgeous,
yeah.
and it has its own thing. So that was just confusing, but overall the pull that this show has had on so many people, Josie, like it has been my comfort show.
And for people that no tienen ni idea de lo que es Love Island, no saben, no han escuchado, so it's a show about different people that they go and they fly them to Fiji, and in there,
So it's always in Fiji.
it's I think season 2 was the only one. I think that was during COVID that they did it in Vegas,
Okay.
like on the roof of
Okay.
Vegas, they rebuilt the villa there.
Got it. Oh, I that makes sense because like there wasn't enough travel. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So, I have seen the show since season 1. It got
Oh
me.
wow.
Yeah. Season 1 and season 2 were my favorites as so far.
Okay.
With the exception of season 6 that it was last year's. This one was a lot going on. Um, but
Mm,
what happens is a lot of people. Different contestants go into this island. They're in the villa, beautiful villa, by the way.
mm-hmm.
I want to go
Mm-hmm.
there just to, be a weekend there. um, just to experience the villa. But lo que pasa es que la gente está buscando amor en esta isla. Y
or so they say they're trying to.
yes, right. So the most interesting thing about this show is that lo hacen como la kind of like in real time, ¿verdad? So,
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
take toda la gente y se la llevan a la isla por un mes o un mes y medio o 2 meses, something like that. Um,
I think it's about 2 months because I
right?
think
Yeah,
I think they started in June, and I started watching the show end of June, and I think it's about to wrap
yeah.
up tomorrow or Wednesday. I think.
Actually, today.
So it's probably it's about yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
today. Okay.
Today's Sunday, July 13th. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
So by the time you listen to this, you're gonna know who won.
yes, yes, and please, vamos a hacer un recap de este también. No, but tú sabes, el hecho de ver como like lo hacen in real time, right? Like it's 2 months.
Yeah.
So everything that is happening, the audience is very involved in the show because at the same time that
Mm-hmm.
it's you're seeing real life.
And
You're
it
not
has it
waiting.
always been that way, Josie?
Yes.
Like, has it always been
It,
that the audience? Okay,
yes, it's always been that way. Season 6, it's where people got very involved with the show.
okay,
That's where PPG came in. So that's the Powerpuff Girls. That was 3 girls. um, that were in the show. They call themselves the Powerpuff Girls.
That's
Y
crazy.
fue una dinámica like super, it was like very girls, um, season for that, right? It had rocky moments like this one, but it was like it was very authentic, like genuine people, right? Like you can see that they were not trying too much, and I think that's what people are getting this one,
Mm,
that they were very calculated of like how they were moving, cómo estaban haciendo las cosas, en el sentido de que like, oh, yo voy a ir y me voy a meter con esta persona, right? Like, and you mentioned like the Casa Amor episode, right? And we see a little bit
yeah.
more of that Latino, ¿cómo se dice? Este, candidato, right? I don't know if it's right. Uh,
The candidate,
yeah,
yeah.
or la persona, ¿verdad? Que vino. Um, yo creo que I don't know why they use that word. I don't think
I don't know why, because like I said, like he's Haitian, and like that would have been more than enough. Like, granted, yes, you live in Puerto Rico now, got it, understood, but you're still Haitian. So like, it would have been nothing for you to be like, I'm JD, I live in Puerto Rico, but I'm Haitian, ça passe, and like moved on. You know what I mean? Like, and I think there's this veil of inauthenticity.
mhm.
Like maybe he thought that that was going to get him more like ability. Um, I can't understand why, but and this is why I said it's so allegedly they're looking for love, because for me as the first time watching, like, yes, it is entertaining in the sense that like I can put my brain on pause and watch this show.
That's why I watch it.
But like it is very much a bunch of pretty and handsome influencer
Mhm.
type people
Yep.
that are going to blow up their platform more after the show. You know what I mean? Like you can tell that this is like pre-influencer boot camp. For when they go, they're gonna get brand deals. Like we just saw Amaya Papaya, by Fenty say, "Hey girl, when you get your phone, check your DMs."
Yeah.
Like I'm for
Yeah.
it.
Me
I'm
too.
for it,
Me
right?
too. Me too. Como nosotros lo estamos, like, us as the audience is perceiving.
Right, their
Yeah,
likability.
exactly. Because you can see like people. That's what happened on season 6, and that's why it blew up to the point they're
Okay,
having a
okay,
spinoff of the show.
got it.
Um, and it's because the likability of these characters, right? Um,
And then this is the first spinoff
that's the
ever,
first
right?
spinoff ever of the Love Island USA version. There's a Love Island UK. That's where this show came from. And love in UK has been big. It's very toxic at the moment in the UK.
Oh Jesus.
So lo que estamos viendo en USA, it's nothing compared to what happens over there. But
Right, right, and also different like guidelines
exactly,
that they can show. I'm pretty
yes,
sure.
yes. But seeing that y por ejemplo, like como Amaya se ve tan vulnerable, right? I think that resonate with
Mm.
her a lot. It's like yes, yeah,
The
I
authenticity. She is who she is, right? Like,
exactly. Y el hecho de que tú sabes, dices, sí, así soy yo. Y si no te gusta, pues no te bebas mi
right, right.
cafecito, ¿ok?
She said, I'm standing on business. I got 10 toes, not 9 toes.
Pero verla a ella y que
She's so cute.
she's super cute. Y viene de familia latina, right? Dominicana.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Y Brian
pero eso es lo
también.
que iba a llegar, right? Like, Brian no salió como de, oh, soy boricua, o soy de
Right,
padres puertorriqueños. Like, he didn't have to use that um, to sell himself, right? I think that,
right. But I did like that he was the only one to say, hey, that's just how we are in this culture, right? Like,
right? That's where I was going to go in the sense that he didn't have to say like, oh, soy Latino y sí, esto es lo que soy, right? He actually used
mm-hmm,
an
mm-hmm,
opportunity to say, hey guys, like, you have to put in perspective, like, we're different cultures here, right? Like,
mm-hmm,
we're
mm-hmm.
not the same in the sense of like how you grew up is totally different of how I grew up, and that's how Amaya is, right?
Right.
Amaya is like a person that wears her, ¿cómo se llama? Sus sentimientos on her
Her
sleeves.
heart on her
Yeah,
sleeve.
but that's something that is very cultural of like the mommy, like papi or like
Mm-hmm.
babe, like eso es algo tan cultural de nuestra,
Yeah.
de los latinos, ¿verdad? Y gente que se cría en los Estados Unidos, de que viene de familia
Yeah.
latina. So I think that's why a lot of people like resonate with her in that sense of
Mhm. Mhm.
like yeah, that is true. Like you don't see that from that perspective. So,
For sure, for sure. And so not just that, because todo no puede ser fiesta y orgullo. There also have been some other things that happen on Love Island, specifically with two contestants. Julissa, that was like very, very in the beginning. Because I remember watching and I'm like, and where'd the girl
I
go? Right.
right.
And then it wasn't until like you told me like, oh yeah, she got kicked off because she had said something inappropriate in pre Love Island life. And so okay, cool. But then the show progresses and we get to like really enjoy and endear with another castmate, Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like rooting for her and her connection, and like until a point where she gets off the show because she had said some things regarding disparaging against the Asian community. And she was able to also speak up for herself after the fact and apologize and have that conversation. But it's, I think, to your point that we were talking about pre-pod, in our conversation, Josie, is that this show is in real time.
Right.
And so you're not getting this post production at a reunion. You're getting these things come up in real time where the show has to react because it's so tied to public, right? The public is doing so much interaction with the show, so much so that they put a post out that they're going to do more like deep dive on the cast
Mm-hmm.
members before they
Yeah.
get there.
Yep.
And people think like, oh, don't you do that before? But like, no, like, because some people will think like, well, I didn't think I had to like assume that I would do that, right? Like that you would do these things or say some things, especially if you're going to be in a public facing space. But
Mm-hmm.
to Love Island's post, they said like they're going to do that for the next season. And you know what, Josie, it really got me to reflect a lot about how what you say is important.
Mm-hmm.
Here on the pod we talk a lot of, and we've talked a lot about like, calling people in about certain things that they've said on like their pod or like or just in general. And we talked earlier about the word accountability, and I for one have to take accountability, right? It's understanding that we can go and we can get really comfortable in things that we say and fly. And realistically, in episode 6 of our pod, I got really excited about reciting lyrics when Eladio's project came out. Y a mí se me salió la palabra, the N word. Not hard ER, the term of endearment, but I want to take this moment to be like, I recognize my upbringing, but there is more to speak upon in this space, and just in like how I would never want to be called out. I'd rather call myself in. I recognize the way I'm presented as a Puerto Rican woman. I have talked about how I've grown up in proximity to like Black communities. I've heard this word used be casually, and it's times that I recognize now as a 38-year-old woman to know better, and choose to be accountable for the moment on the pod, but in larger context, to not use the word again. It doesn't belong in my vocabulary and it shouldn't have. I also want to take this time to recognize that the the Latino community and the Black community haven't always been harmonious in our relations, and so using that only reinforces like anti-Blackness, and that's not something that I ever want to do. And that it this moment of reflection is about growth, harm reduction, and responsibility. I don't need, like I said before, like I don't need someone to point this out for me. I want to hold myself accountable and call myself into that. The word carries such a legacy of dehumanization that long predates, the Black community reclaiming it as a means of like endearment to them. But it's a boundary that I don't want to have someone call out to me and be like, you shouldn't use it. I need to let myself know I shouldn't have used it. And like I'd rather stand in solidarity, and I'd rather recognize that I just shouldn't have used the word. I never want to be one of those Latinos that be like, oh, but I can use it because no, just across the board, no, don't use the word. Um, and so like, as we're unraveling and learning and building, I'm committed to unlearning things that, do not help. and move with more intention and continue to build a better space that's grounded con respeto, con comunidad, and overall like take
Absolutely.
accountability.
Absolutely. And that's the big part, right? Because I think our pod has done, and I think the intention of the pod is like we learn so many things from our upbringing, right? And some of them is because it was passed on, or de nuestra familia, de nuestros amigos, de nuestro entorno. But
Right. Or nuestra comunidad, right? Like we grow up in this space of like I grew up around black people, so like that was the interaction. But like at the end of the day, just because I grew up in proximity, I didn't grow up in the same like in the same treatment, right? So at the end of the day, like just because you grow up around this space doesn't mean that you still have the weight of using it. And even more so as like race is growing in this country, I'd rather side on a space of not using it and be more in solidarity with the black community and respect them than utilize this or feel like I can use this word.
es una responsabilidad cultural y emocional también, right? Because it's like we have to take into consideration that we need that representation to be with intention,
Yeah.
right? Um, and and that's what we're here for, right? In some way or capacity, is
Mhm. Mhm.
to us to cuestionar lo que ha pasado en el pasado, lo que hemos aprendido, lo que seguimos aprendiendo, right? Because we're not perfect, we're human. And después que tú tengas
Yeah.
the willingness, right, of like doing better. Por ejemplo, ¿sabes? Hay muchas personas, como fue el caso de Sierra, y not to bring it back again, but it's just like perspective of like you can say I'm sorry, but when you do this 3 different times, it's like you're
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
sorry, or it's because you got caught. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So much with the Latinos. Like I've had several conversations I've seen online about like, well, this group of Latinos can use it, but not this one. It's like it shouldn't even be that, right? Like across the board, just don't, right? Um because then you'll get to the space where people are utilizing it and then like it's deep rooted historical context gets diluted, and that's what something you should never want, because that word is so ingrained and so indebted in such harm that if you start being like, well, if you look this way and speak Spanish you can use it, but if you look this way and speak Spanish you can't use it, and it's just like, just don't use it, right? Like, and to be very, very clear, we come from Latin communities that we have our own version of this horrible word, that we don't need to use this, right? Like, we may have not been called the N word in our countries, but there's very vile things that Afro Latinos are called within their country. And they vary from country to country. And so you recognize, even if you haven't understood the weight of this N word, you know the weight of those words from your country. So you know you wouldn't want to utilize that either. Or you wouldn't want someone who does not look like you and don't understand that experience to use the word either, once you've adopted it as a term of endearment, right? Like, so I have sat with this for a while, and recognizing like, wow, in one form, in a moment of excitement from this like, song, se me salió, and I'm just like, nah, that's not okay. Like, and more importantly, moving forward, like that needs to be completely eradicated from my vocabulary. Like, that's not something that I need to be using. I am an adult enough. I have a long laundry list of vocabulary words that I can use that does not incorporate that word. Y sobre
Mm-hmm.
todo,
Absolutely, absolutely.
apologies.
And it's amazing, ¿verdad? Que you were able to como que reflect on it, ¿verdad? Y decir, you know what, like, sí, yo tengo que tener accountability sobre esto. Y como tú dices, sacarla del vocabulario, right? So, um, it's a very, like, difícil
Yeah.
situación, ¿verdad? Para todo el mundo que pasa por una situación como esta, but it's how you react to it and
Mm-hmm,
how you do
mm-hmm.
better. And, how you show up for that community, right? Like, how can we actually show up for that community and actually do our part en el sentido de que, like, yeah, hice esto mal, ¿verdad? ¿Qué puedo hacer? Rectify is how you say it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's rectified. No, y la cosa es que uno no tiene que aguantar, esperar para el cantazo to be like, oh, tenía que aprender. No,
No.
sometimes you can just take some moment and be like, First of all, oh my God, I said it, right? Because even in the recording, I was just like, oh, I was looking back. We were at the pod retreat, and I'm looking back at different episodes, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe, que eso me salió in the excitement of the music. And then it's like, no, yo tengo que decir algo. Like, esto no puede seguir para allá. Because what I don't want is listeners to be like, yeah, eso es lo que ella dice todo el día, like all the time. Like, this is where she's going to be at. And that she's okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, nah,
Right.
like, I really don't want that to be a representation of me. This is also a bigger, broader context of those in the diaspora, right? Those who are not just who grew up with amongst other Puerto Ricans or Latinos in the community. Like, this is one of those things that I think that maybe like those from La Isla don't understand, and like that level of complexity. And so it's a necessary conversation también.
Claro que sí, claro que sí. Bueno, vamos más de una hora aquí en chit chat. Y yo te voy a decir una cosa. Llevas como 3 semanas. You have to take accountability of
I
that,
knew it.
okay? Take accountability.
I knew it was coming. Yo te lo debo. Let me tell you something. El café que yo te voy a dar, muchacha, va a estar súper cargado con amor y ternura. Like, you just wait and see. As a matter of fact, the next time I see you, I owe you a cup of Santana's coffee.
But yes, that now we're talking.
For those who know, if you know, you know. Candace Santana's
Exacto.
coffee and pastries y un quesito.
Listen, todo. Lo quiero todo.
I got you, girl. Bueno, mi gente, this has been an hour into the pod. This has been a different, like, overall for us. So it might have been a lot more heavy in that level of reflection. Pero this is what the spirit of the day was. There was a need for reflection. So take some time to reflect. We hope that you enjoyed our pod this week. You can always listen to us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, RSS.com. We are on all the redes sociales. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky at Boricua Culture Mix Pod. You can email us at boricuaculturemix@gmail. Leave us a rating. Also, we're on YouTube también. And overall, cuídense. We love you. I love your Latinidad and mine también for free. And let's move on.
Eso es así. Y recuerden que esto se escucha mejor con una tacita de café.
Amen. Amen. I got you, girl.
Nos vemos en la
Chao.
próxima. Bye bye.